So it's important for us to consider what next after your visa approval. There are so many things that comes to mind depending on the type of visa you get. All right, so it's going to be case by case basis. So today's video is going to cover two categories of non-immigrant visa. What next? What you should consider. Okay, so I tag this one post visa syndrome. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lovelies, and if today is the first time of joining me, thank you so much for being here, and I love you so much. To consider subscribing, and if there are certain videos you want me to make, please put it in the comment section. I'm all about research. I always put it out there. Whatever information that comes on here is for your information and for your understanding and knowledge. You can go over to any government website and get more information. Okay, and to my returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all, and I'm so grateful for you guys sticking by me, and I do hope that you continue being here for me. So let's go straight into the video. All right, so I'm going to start with the visit visa, the US visit visa. So that will be under the category of the B1, B2 visa. So congratulations on getting your visa approval. So what next? What should you consider? The first thing on my list, don't mind me if I'm looking at my computer, because most times I always like to jot down my ideas because a lot of things flash through my mind, so I could forget some important information. So yes, I always put down informations on my notepad on my computer. So now I'm gonna look through pointers on my computer, okay, while we're talking about this. So my first one would be to check your visa information. So when you receive your passport, the first thing you should consider is to double check that the information on your visa is correct. The information on your visa must be correct. Your name, your date of birth, your purpose of visit, your duration of stay, meaning the validity of the visa. You should double check all of that. Now you need to book your travel. You have checked your information, everything else is complete, is correct. Book your travel. If there are mistakes on your passport, on your issued visa, on your VietNet, please, you have to contact the US Embassy to give you some to rectify the problem, because at your port of entry it's still going to be the same issue. So you need to consider that. Now you have checked everything is correct, congratulations. Now you need to book your travel. So you need to check for your flight. If you're traveling with your family, you need to consider the cost of how much you're going to spend on flight. So that will be the next one for you to do. Now you can start planning, making all your documentation. Getting all your documentations ready is very important as part of your flight schedule. Now, for accommodation, transportation arrangement, where you'll be staying, if you're visiting a family or friend or partner, anybody, whatever is the purpose of your visit, you need to consider transportation, you need to consider accommodation. Now, if you're family and you cannot all of you pack into somebody's house, even if you're going to visit the person, you have to arrange for like hotel reservations. You need to check the cost. You need to see how much you need to be able to cover the duration of your stay, depending on how long you want to stay for your on your visa. For transportation, you need to consider renting a car, because my dear, Uber is freaking expensive. Quote me anywhere. Uber is freaking expensive. For those of you in the US, if you are coming to the US and you're not driving, just be ready to pay Uber. This is just the gospel truth. Even in UK, I'm sure that people living in the UK should be able to testify to this as well. It's always advisable to have your transportation ready. If you're visiting a family, they would be able to provide you a car to take you around, or at least if you have a driver's license from your country of residence, please get an international driver's license to be able to rent a car. Also check the laws of the state where you're going to, that would allow you to be able to drive, and for how long you can drive on your international license. But usually international driving license would allow you to drive for, I think, around 1 year. So If your duration of stay is less than that, then good for you. If not, then you have to consider the laws to take a driver's license for that state where you are going to be. So we're still talking about the visitor's visa. So it's advisable to get travel insurance. Now you might say, I'm just traveling there for a visit, I don't need it. Yeah, sometimes you could have an emergency. What if you have a medical emergency? Your travel insurance, when you get one, that will be able to cover you because you are a visitor, right? So there are certain things that may not be available, certain medical treatment that may not be available to you. So if you have a travel insurance, that will at least cover you on certain things. Well, the next on my list is to prepare for customs and immigration. If you have not seen my previous video, please go back there and see that video. It's very important for you to watch it. There is no way you're coming into the United States without passing through customs and immigration. And the ICE, they are eagerly waiting to receive you with your proper documentation and be ready to answer questions. Now, I've written down some questions and I'm going to look through my computer. The first question you should be looking at should be, what is your purpose of visit? How long do you intend to stay? And where will you be staying? That's why I said in my previous point, make your travel arrangements, your accommodation arrangements, because you're going to answer all of that. Even if it's for F1, for visitor, for a student, you're still going to answer that question of how long are you going to stay, what is your purpose of visit, who will you be staying with, or where will you be staying. You need to specify an address. I was actually asked that, so I put all of those things on my previous video, so do well to check that out. All right, another point I would like to note here is know your travel restrictions. Because of the pandemic that has happened over since 2019 until now, different countries have different laws, so you need to check with the US government on the travel restrictions, as well as the airline you're going to be taking. So you need to check your travel restrictions in case you need to have your complete vaccination before you are allowed to fly. You don't just book a ticket and not understand it, because by the time you get there and you miss your flight because of travel restriction, you know how much you're going to be paying for flight. You should try to check how much it costs to come into the United States. Is not human beings. At least if you're traveling alone, you should be spending up to $2,500 or $3,000, and if you're traveling families, obviously going to be more than that. So you need to try to consider that fact before you book your flight. Check the travel restriction, check with the US government to see what you require to be able to come into the United States in terms of the pandemic and restrictions. Now, I would like to point out that you should have enough funds for your stay. Home money. Hey, there are bills to pay in America. In everything, there are bills to pay. Hold enough money. Especially if you're traveling family, because I know a lot of people that are coming for visit, they're coming with kids. Please have enough money for your transportation, for your accommodation. Bills are running, and you'll be paying taxes along with it, so you need to be aware of that. I'm going to make another video detailing the amount of tax that you have to pay and what you have to pay on, so you should look out for that. So this is important for you to do. Have money. Money is very important. I'm saying this lightly, but I'm telling you, this is from me. This is the reality of it. Hold money. Don't say, we'll come into the United States, we'll see how we're going to do it. There's no how you're going to do it. You will pay. You will spend money. You will spend money. All right, so I'm going to be moving over to the F1 people. So that will be in the category of the student, the F1, the J1, the category of students, the M1 as well. Yeah, so you can refer back to my previous video on the categories of visa. If you have not seen the video, please try to see it. Okay, now for F1 students, I believe that before your visa you should have paid for your service fee. If you have not paid for service fee, you have to still pay for it. So double check that you have your receipt, because when you come into the United States, you have to register for your the semester where you are going to start your classes. You have to register for service. So that amount, that receipt that you paid, there is a number they give you. That is part of what you use to register, and your I-20 will be, the USCIS would acknowledge that yes, I am here, I'm here to study, I have registered, here I am. You understand? So that is what your service fee is. And the next thing again you need to check is your health insurance. Some universities is inclusive in your tuition, I mean in your school fees. The breakdown, if you look at your school fees breakdown, if there's no health insurance, try to get a health insurance. It could be Medicaid or any other one, but try to ensure that you have the health insurance, so if you have an emergency, that would cover you. Because like in my school, my health insurance is within my school fees. So according to my breakdown, my school fees of my school fees, there is health insurance within there. So yeah, that covers me health wise, not in every aspect. It wouldn't be surgery, but it could be at least basic treatment. You have need to get antibiotics and some other things. That would help you a lot to get treated. Nobody's giving you any free treatment. I'm telling you, there's no free treatment anywhere. Take it from me. Don't allow people to deceive you. There is no free treatment anywhere. You would have to pay for something. It's either you're paying out of your pocket or you're paying through the insurance. So it's always advisable to get a health insurance. Now, another thing that is important for you to do is to register your classes. Ensure that you're not late in registration. If you're late in registration, believe me, you will pay money. In this country, if you're late in paying anything, there's an additional fee. So for example, you have a daycare, you're putting your child. If you're late to pick up that child, you will pay something. So I'm just trying to refer to you now. I'm not trying to digress, but I'm trying to tell you that in everything, if there is a late registration, you will pay for it. So ensure to register your classes on time. It's very, very important. Then another thing you need to consider is orientation. You need to go for your orientation tour. You need to get to understand the school, know where your faculty is. There are so many departments in the university. Know where your faculty is, know who your professors are. If you get to not meet them, if you want to meet your course advisor, know who your course advisor is, know what to do. Put your ears down, you're a student. Don't go and start forming spiritual and all that thing. There are certain things that you have to do. Don't go inside and be, see, so many people misplace priorities when they come to school. Please focus, do these things as a student and get your way out. USCIS is not playing with anybody, so ensure that you get everything right. Know when to register your courses, know when to register for the next semester, know when to pay your fees, know when to do everything that needs to be done. It's really important for you. Okay, guys? Transitioning to a new country is not easy for anyone. You need time to settle. Don't just come and say, I want to come and live the American dream. Hey, I want to live the big. Just calm down. Calm down. You see that song that says, baby, calm down. Calm down and get information. Connect with students. This is my last point for today. Connect with other students. Make new friends. That would help you in your journey, because a lot of people are ahead of you. You'll be able to gain from their experiences. You'll be able to connect. They can even help you search out places, search out things that you didn't know existed. So this is my last point for today. Please ensure to understand the one that pertains to you and do it right. Above all, I'm still going to repeat myself. Hold money. Hey, hold money when you're coming to America. At least for the first 3 months or 4 months, depending on your category of visa, hold money. And for those of you that are students, please ensure that you have your school fees, ensure you have your tuition, so that whatever benefits that comes along the way would be a plus for you, instead of you to struggle to start to look for money. All right, guys, so this is why I draw the curtain for today. So I'll see you on my next video, and I hope you enjoyed a thing or two. I hope you learned something. If there are certain things you want me to create, certain other videos that you would love for me to research for you, please let me know, and I'll definitely find that information. I always put out a disclaimer: I am not an immigration consultant. I am not an immigration lawyer. I am just a regular person like you and I, just a regular person in this life, trying to get information and pass it across out there. I hope you learned something. If you need help, contact an immigration lawyer in the country, depending on whatever you need. Please Nobody should come to me for any form of help. I do not do any form of consultancy services. I am just a regular student. I am just a regular person. So go ahead and make your findings. Whatever information I put here, go ahead and confirm. Go to this government website. It's free. Information is power. Read and always keep your goals realistic. Until next time, I'll see you on my next video. Bye.